Yeah, the first year at Utah State, it was more just called and run and everything, and then it's kind of as the quarterback progresses through it. Um, Allen's a very bright guy, very football smart guy, puts a lot of time into the film room and that way, and so we try to give him a little bit more, I don't know, freedom, but a little bit more options to choose as you're at the line and everything, and then put himself in a position to be successful. And over time, we found it's a good way for the quarterback to kind of handle the offense. So he's done a really good job with that. There was one last week, and it's a small little one, but the signal came in. He couldn't read it on his wristband, and instead of having to use a timeout before halftime, he gets us into a formation, checks to a run play, we run it, and we get 4 yards, and now we're sitting at kind of in a 3rd and 3 situation, and then he converts the 3rd down. So, and that's 2 weeks in a row that he's kind of had to go with nothing because where the clock was or something happened subbing wise or something happened with the wristband, we'll see it. So that's real positive. But we try to give him freedom to do that and some leeway on certain plays. I think what you find with a team that plays man coverage like that, you're gonna take shots. You're going to need to take shots on teams like that, and they've probably given up a few more than they probably expected to in that way. I think the talent they have at corner. I remember Jace Whitaker. I recruited him for a while, a few years back, that way. But they've got guys in the secondary that can definitely make plays on the ball, and I think they were trying to put them in a position to be successful. And they've got hit on some. Hawaii throws the ball on everybody. They're kind of that team that you know what they're going to do, and they just do it to you. I've seen it up close and personal last year when we played them, but that, and then I think last week the game they got a lead on them, and probably there were some subs going in and some things going on, so I think some of that was not against the guys we're probably going to see. It's definitely to start the football game. So, no, we got to be able to make plays in the pass game that way, and they're going to challenge you on every one. That's kind of the challenge to our guys. It's not going to be run in space, sit down in zones. It's going to be one-on-one matchups from our H's to our Y's to our X and Z's, and then even our tailbacks on some one-on-one opportunities that way. And that's going to be a challenge up front because they're going to bring pressure probably more than what we've seen the first 2 weeks. So there's going to be a lot of one-on-one battles we're going to have to win this Saturday to be successful. I don't really ever watch them. I haven't seen them on offense for really a couple years, but I know their quarterback Tate is a phenomenal player and what he can do with the football in that way. But no, we just kind of go in and we want to score as much as we can, as fast as we can, and being as efficient and execution based and efficiency has been kind of our trademark for the first 2 weeks. We've been highly efficient, haven't been as explosive as what we'd like, so we want to get our explosives up and along keeping our efficiency in that range so we can be a high-powered offense and score and keep trying to put our defense in a position where they can play with a lead and gives them a lot more opportunities, and it also affects the other team's offense with how we play on offense.
Can you explain the tap out TTU and where that came
from? It's a deal that kind of Coach Farmer and Coach Canova are kind of our O-line guys just talking about trying to come up with something, and we've seen it on video, so we kind of tried to use that where when you're playing against somebody, you try to tire a team out, so they tap to get off the football field, and we look for those every week and kind of take it as a pride deal. So our kids have kind of bought into that, but it's just kind of a mantra that we're going to try to do that to the opponent, make them want to leave the football field, and then we look for it on video and try to find shots of it happening within a game.
You keep count of it?
We try to keep it on video. We have yet to have one this year of a team actually tapping themselves out. We kind of had to bring some with us initially. Now we've had some, we call it play fast, where teams aren't ready for the snap or they're not in a position to play, but we haven't gotten one yet on video of a guy kind of asking to come off the football field, which that's kind of a challenge to our guys, and we'll continue to kind of do that. You guys can look for it too, so if you see it in between, we can steal it off the TV copy. Oh yeah, being at Texas Tech, opens a lot of doors in recruiting for you. Being in the Big 12 is definitely a door opener for those recruits. They want to play in recruits just like coaches. You're trying to go to the highest level you can, in that way. So having that on your shirt and having the Big 12 logo and having that on your business card, and when you call them, they see who the call's from. You definitely get more answers on phone calls and you get more interest that way. And then it's a matter of making sure you're recruiting the right guys that you can compete at a high level in the Big 12 and on the national thing. But no, it definitely helps you in recruiting, having that and everything. And then winning goes a long way to that, and then the relationships you build with those individuals.
What do you look for in a quarterback? When you're recruiting, what are some of the attributes you look for in a quarterback?
Really, we kind of go through it, and it's the first thing is, we don't have some like locked-in size ideas, but there's certain things. If the shorter you get, then you start to have concerns over what's his release like and those types of things. But we look for a guy that's athletic. He doesn't have to be a true runner with the football, but he's athletic enough to help us and to be able to do what we want him to do within the pocket and within our kind of run screen game. his release, can I live with it? Because I'm not going to change it. I mean, I've done this for 20-some years. They're not going to. I mean, Tim Tebow throws the same way he did when I saw him in high school, when he was a sophomore, as he does now, and he's had 1,000 quarterback coaches over the years. So what you see is kind of what you get. So that's why when your kid throws at 9, that's kind of how he's going to throw it when he's 19 and 29. So my one son will probably be a quarterback, one probably won't. We kind of figure that out pretty quick. But and then it's how they kind of what they can do with the football. What's their arm talent? Is it and it doesn't have to be the greatest arm ever. It doesn't have to be the best arm talent. Those, how you lead your team. Can you make all the different throws? And we kind of group those into the 1s and the 2s and the 3s. 1s are fastballs. 2s are kind of those seam balls. 2 balls over top of people. 3 balls is kind of the go route. How's that kind of work? And then you look at what's his completion percentage been over his career, because it normally doesn't go up when you go to college in that way. And then what's his touchdown interception ratio, because again, it doesn't get easier when you get to college that way. But there's a lot of things that kind of go into it. And then you want them on winning football teams normally. Now that doesn't always happen, and you recruit guys that aren't. But that, and then how good of then it's talking to him. Is that guy going to lead your football team? And a lot of times they call it the it quality. Most guys you meet, you kind of say, well, I don't know if he has it. Some you meet and you say, oh, I know he's got it. And there's some you meet, you go, I know he doesn't have it. And then what you got to do is you're going to continue to work through the process. But when you find one, you kind of go all out to get them and everything. And I've been lucky enough to have some really good ones. So that's why people think I'm a good quarterback coach. It's getting good quarterbacks. But accuracy is a huge one, because I've never made a guy more accurate, and I've never made a guy better anticipating throws. I've made them. I think I've improved them, but I never took a guy that couldn't anticipate and made him into a guy that anticipated. And so much of college football is anticipation. Well, we try to spread out. Now, we play a lot of guys. I mean, the first week we were a little off in our numbers, a little bit. I mean, the first week, really TJ and Eric probably played a higher percentage than what we would want, and it was kind of a little bit of a learning curve for them. And Coach Filani, the first time, really going through a full game with us. This last week, we were more 50-50 with TJ and Keyshawn and RJ and Eric over at the X. Our H's were basically a third. And what it does is it keeps the morale up, but also you have to be good enough to play is what we look at. And right now we feel we're really good at, we've got 5 outside receivers right now we're willing to stick in the game at any time and play with. That way at the H we've got 3, at the tight end we've got 2 we're going to play with, at tailback we've got 3. So it keeps everybody in, but it's also competition, because they don't want to be on the sideline. I mean, they like coming over to catch a breath, but they don't like staying over there once they're ready to go. So that keeps everybody going. But we also want to distribute the football. We want them to circle certain guys and say, hey, we got to stop those guys, but we don't want it so they take that guy away, we have nothing to go to. We've got a bunch of guys that can make plays. We want to use all those guys.
Dante, I guess how'd you kind of grade out on offense from last weekend?
I graded out pretty well. Had one mistake, mental error, but just fixed it. Watched it, saw it in film. We won't do it again.
I guess for you, what's been the biggest, positive thing that you kind of heard about the work that you kind of put in to be a tight end going into this year?
It's just the fact that the coaches notice it. You know, I've been working hard, working my butt off, and the fact that I'm showing improvement, and the coaches see it as well.
What's it been like just playing the position tight end these last 2 games? What's it been like?
It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. Being on the field a lot, being able to catch some balls, being able to make some key blocks, and just looking forward to the season for the conference.
Saw a couple plays where they kind of designed it to seem like to get single coverage on you. A couple of third down plays, at least one against UTEP last week. What was that like to get your number called like that?
It was amazing. Like I said, Allen trusted in me, and I had it was the right matchup, and Allen trusted in me. I was able to convert on third down.
32 games, has your role been about what they told you pre-season? The tight end role is going to be game by game?
Yeah, that's exactly what I expected coming into the season. Each game, I've been doing everything that they've been saying that they were going to do preseason.
How excited are you to finally, nothing against UTEP, Montana State, but now a much better opponent, Power 5 school. Are you excited for the better competition this week?
Oh, yeah, I'm very excited to see where we stand against another Power 5. It'll be a good team that we have to go out and face on the roads, and it'll be hopefully we'll lead with a solid win.
What do you see from their defense, Arizona?
They play a lot of 4-down defense, man over top. They blitz kind of, so we'll just be ready for it.
Do you have any road superstition?
Nah, I'm just excited to go. First away game in somebody else's country, so it'll be good.
What are you happy about your play so far this year, What do you think you need to still improve on?
I'm quite satisfied with my play. I've been blocking well, been able to catch balls, all the balls that have been thrown to me. And I'm just looking forward to the season. It will keep adding on to what I'm doing.
Coach Luke Wells told you anything? What's been his feedback from after these first 2 weeks?
Making progress, fixing my errors, technique-wise, just little stuff like that. Nothing really major, but just keep trying to get better each and every day.
How's the speed of the offense treating you so far? Do you want it to go faster? Or?
I want to go as fast as possible. It's just an advantage for us, catching defense off guard. Sometimes they're not lined up. Sometimes they're just out of breath. So it's just something that we can use to our advantage.
Can you explain tapping out TTU?
Tapping out is when you see a defensive player tapping their head or running to the sideline after a play because we're gashing them, they're out of breath, and they just can't go no more.
Who came up with that?
Coach Yost. It's something that he brought with him from Utah State.
How excited are you to potentially have a guy like Terrence Steele and Jack Anderson back on the line to help out with the blocking?
It's good to have them guys back. Just gonna make our O-line better, right side particularly. So they're both on the right side, so that side should be sold up.
Did you notice much of a drop off when those guys weren't there? This
Nah, not at all. Not at all.